We have to talk about James Comey. I have a theory that you might want to hear, but James Comey, the former FBI director, posted something that is so absurdly partisan hacky or stupid that I can't tell which one it is. On a walk on a beach that the former FBI director took, he saw this alignment of seashells. Now, no indication whether or not he stumbled upon it or he made it himself, but regardless, he decided to post the picture of the seashells with the commentary, "Cool shell formation on my beach walk." Now, obviously, anybody with half a brain who's been alive for longer than 30 seconds can realize 8647, okay, Donald Trump is the 47th president. 86 generally means get rid of or even kill, especially in law enforcement terminology. So did the FBI director say, hey, somebody should kill the 47th president? President Trump said, yeah, clearly he knew what he was talking about. The post was deleted, and then Comey tried to explain himself away and said this: I posted a picture earlier of some seashells I saw on a beach walk, which I assumed were a political message. I didn't realize folks associated those numbers with violence. Unconfirmed reports of people that I made up tell me that James Comey also jumped in a lake recently and was shocked that he was wet. Here's what I'm saying. This is either politically horrible or James Comey is stupid, which I'd like to present with my theory here. Is James Comey the personification of height discrimination? Every single step that he has taken in the public eye from the second that I knew his name has been dumb. All of the evidence against Hillary Clinton, he comes out and says, we're not going to charge her. And then, to our benefit, 12 days before the election in 2016, he says, actually, we're going to reopen this case. Then he gets fired and he posts these selfies in the woods of him looking contemplatively out into the wilderness. And now this, every single thing he has done in the public eye has been stupid. And therefore, was he only hired because he's tall? If you don't know this, James Comey is 6'8", and there have been studies that say, well, people who are taller somehow get the perceived notion of competency. Maybe that's what we're dealing with. Maybe he's not evil. He might just be stupid. Here to comment on that and so much more is the leader of the College Republicans of America, William Donahue, and musician, commentator, and political activist, Corey Yeshua. Guys, thanks so much for joining us. Really appreciate you being here.
Thanks for having us, man. It's great to be on.
Thank you for having us on.
William, I want to test my theory here. We'll start with you. Is this the case of a very, very dumb man who happens to be tall and therefore seen as competent? Or is he just so ideologically twisted that he thought, hey, this would be a good idea and I can weasel my way out of it if I face any backlash?
Well, I think when the left owns the media narrative, they have the ability to kind of just wash their hands of any scrutiny that they get. We have the same problem in Europe. We call them the Brussels Brigade. These people think that they can just push their weight around and make dumb comments and just step back and say, "Oops, never mind, that never happened." Just look away. Do not look at the man behind the curtain. I think most of these people are completely incompetent, and that's why they're selected for their roles. You make a really good point there. Dumb people are really easy to control, and James Comey is definitely not a smart man.
Yeah, it seems so like, hey, dude, read the room. How do you think this is going to land? Corey, DHS Secretary Kristi Noem has said, hey, Secret Service is going to be paying him a visit. Now, if that is the case, do you think the libs will say, look, they're attacking their political enemies? Or do you think they'll have the wherewithal to say, yeah, James, that was not a smart thing to post, and maybe a visit from the Secret Service is well-deserved?
Definitely well-deserved. I think he knew what he was doing. Would liberals get behind him on this? I think they will. I think they will. But after the assassination attempts we've seen on Donald Trump, I don't take something like this very lightly. People are all over TikTok, and social media posting this as if it's some kind of joke or something. But, if this was aimed at a Democrat president, the Department of Justice would come down so hard on it. So I definitely think the same should be done in this case. I don't think this should be aimed at a Democrat or Republican president. I don't think we should be doing things like this.
Yeah, you're right, and I agree. That's it's We like to make light of things on this show and call James Comey stupid because I actually genuinely believe he is. But at the same time, this is a very serious issue, and I wish the libs, especially in so many cases like this, weren't just so cavalier with death threats.